Hello guys, it's James and we're here for the round 10 footy bets. Would you believe it or not, another break-even round. Just getting up because of the bonus bets. It is what it is. It's been like this for a couple of weeks now. Thankfully, a lot of the wins have been happening in the back end of the week because I feel like that's when me and some others also bet a little bit harder. You know, when you've had a couple of losses. Like, I trust the system, as in, the $3 odds, 5 legs, same game multi. I've been doing it for ages. It's kind of like a bit of a roller coaster. But anyway, I don't like to do anything too drastic or crazy because I don't know. I watch so much footy. Players just miss, they're human, but it's usually pretty consistent. But that being said, I'll usually bet a little bit harder. And for like the last month or so, the games on Saturday night or Sunday are the ones that are hitting. So it's left me in a good position and hopefully some others as well. But if you're just betting the same amount, $50 every game, this is where you'll be sitting. Although this week, the Thursday and Friday night bets have hit. Oh, and the other Friday one missed by one posie, Josh Dacos. So anyway, it's a bit odd how the early games are hitting. So maybe I just don't bet harder this week. But anyway, we'll quickly go through the recap so we can get the rest of the video out. There's only 3 games this Saturday, so I've had a little bit of time. I accidentally deleted my form guide this morning, so that's been a nice frantic morning to get it sorted, but we're here. Anyway, we'll just go through the wins. The wins are here. We had the one bonus bet because it was the North and Sydney game. The bonus bet didn't tick over until the Gold Coast St Kilda game. It wasn't there available for the GWS Essendon game, which is very lucky. But otherwise, they're the hits. So only the 3 bets plus the 1 bonus, and we've been going for slightly reduced odds, just to try and help out, get a couple of wins on the board. Albeit though we're hitting the same roadblock, I'd rather go for something a little bit less than 3. So that means, like, yes, it's still a negative if you win 3. Usually you only have to win 3 bets to break even, but it's been like we've been at this $1,400 mark, I don't know, for a month plus now. So we started out super strong, but it's been, I'll tell you what, it's been fighting uphill for the last couple of weeks, but it's a good start this week, so we'll see how we go. Usually the bets don't really peak until around the middle of the year anyway. So I'll quickly go through the recap. Shai Bolton missed and played a lot on ball, but he has been all year and still kicking goals. So in a really close game against Hawthorn, it was just, not to be. I don't think he even had a set shot at goal. And Shai Bolton's, I think, when I was looking at it from last week, forgive me, I look at so many stats, I forget what it was. I think he had a minimum 2 shots on goal for every game this year. Yep, he did. Except that game against Hawthorn where he had 0, not 1 shot at goal. So he's been having 3 shots, 2, 5, 4, and then 0. So that's just what happens sometimes. Dylan Moore was kind of a bit, well, he's quiet the whole game. Obviously didn't hit, but yeah, quiet last quarter. Fremantle came home very strong, so it's hard for the high half forwards of Hawthorn to get it. Jasper Fletcher, I've got to be a bit more cautious of him. To be fair, this game, I'm pretty sure it was this game, is when he got put onto the wing. Zach Bailey was playing a bit more forward. Link went back. Jasper Fletcher's back on the wing. When he's back on the wing, that's the old 2024 Jasper Fletcher, where he was like just hitting. So anyway, wasn't a huge fan, but nonetheless, even when he's been in the back line, his posies have been a bit down all year. But 16 posies, that's all I was asking for Fletcher, and I would take that any day. But yeah, 12 is I don't know. The 12 we got a month ago was when Zorko went out, and a lot of the Brisbane backline players didn't hit. They weren't switching the ball, or a lot of the backline players will often rack it up and just get everyone involved. Wilmot, Kitty Coleman, Fletcher, and Zorko. But Zorko was out, so the main distributor wasn't there for that game, so I can give him an out for that. But a 12, was that against? It wasn't Carlton. That was I think it was against Carlton. Anyway, so got to keep an eye on Jasper Fletcher. Dane Zorko just missed, laid out the other night as well, which is super annoying. But yeah, I'd have him bounce back. Willem Drew missed by 1 posie. I missed this game because I was at the Gabba. Oh yeah, so this was the Carlton game. So yeah, I just missed Willem Drew missing, but had 3 posies each in each last quarter. So yeah, a bit unlucky. James Rowbottom just I swear to God, anytime I try and include someone like, not even like that out of the ordinary, just I see him on the stat sheet looking really good. He's like, oh, he's just had like 1 miss this year by 2 posies. As soon as I bet on him, turns to absolute shit. And it's against North at Marvel. You'd think he'd be fine, but 9 posies. And then Aaron Cadman versus Essendon, only 1 goal. Lockie Ash has been thrown on ball, and I knew that going in. But I thought even still with Lockie Ash not getting any kickouts, he gets kick-out receives. And he's playing up against Essendon at home. I thought if him playing on ball, any time to bet on someone kind of like changing position, it's against a bottom team, and he's going to be on ball too. Oliver, Callahan have been racking it up, so I thought the same would kind of go to Ash. He got 23 posies, so it's not like the worst pick, but out of all those GWS players who usually get 25 plus, Whitfield, Callahan, Oliver, Lockie Ash was one who fell short. And Cozzy Pickett got tagged in that West Coast game. So, yeah, very annoying. So, Cozzy Pickett has started fantastic this year, but yeah, have to be a bit more vigilant, I guess, if someone's going to tag him. West Coast don't usually have like a go-to tagger, but yeah, it was Brady Hoff, had a pretty good tagging role on Cozzy Pickett, so keep that in mind going forward. But yeah, anyway, that's the recap. We're flying through. Let's go straight to the bets. So round 10, first game of the round, Adelaide versus North Melbourne. We've gone Ben Keys for 12, Luke Parker, Wayne Miller, Caleb Daniel, and Rory Laird, all for 20. So 4 players for 20, 2 were from North Melbourne's backline, and 2 are from Adelaide's backline. I really like it. It's a lot of the backline players have been hitting in the games that they've just missed. 19 posies, 19. Rory Laird did have a quiet one there, and I was really on the fence between Rory Laird and Josh Worrell. I think just Rory Laird's recent games against North is what got me over, albeit Josh Worrell's been very consistent this year and just missed 20 plus once. But I think Rory Laird has a little bit more of a ceiling as well. So yeah, I've gone Rory Laird, but yeah, the other ones I'm very confident in. I'm still confident in Rory Laird, but he was the one I was umming about. Ben Keys for 12, I'm happy to include. $1.19 against North. Adelaide should win this. His track record against North is very good. Ben Keys, I haven't asked for... I think I've only bet on him once this year, and it was a 12 posie game. So 12, I'm fine with asking. Anything higher, like 14 or 15, no, because he's just, small forward, comes up the ground too. But then you've got Rochelle. Rankin will probably play a bit in the forward line as well, because he'll probably cop a tag. We'll get to him in a sec. But anyway, I like Ben Keys. Luke Parker is having an all-Australian year. He just rejuvenated in the back line. Yeah, looking great. Wayne Miller is having the best season he's ever had, and he is just on an absolute tear of late, averaging 28.3 posies in his last 3 games. His last month would be almost like 30 posies per game. So yeah, Wayne Miller, I'm jumping on board, so don't worry about his stats from the last couple of years or whenever he's versed North. This year he's just, absolutely tearing it apart. Caleb Daniel, plenty of kickouts. He's always going to get close. Not having any role changes anymore, so that's good. And Rory Laird I spoke about. I think he can hit, very consistent, but I wouldn't blame you if you went Josh Worrell. Isaac Rankin for a goal. He's playing a lot more on ball, but, we saw it with Nick Dacos. He played a lot in the forward line with a tag. Isaac Rankin could go in the forward line with O'Sullivan or Simkin tagging him. But his CBAs have gone way back up. So his CBAs were 70 to 73% last week and 74%. 73 2 weeks ago, 74 last week. So yeah, he started the year slow. He's slowly getting back into it. He's playing more on ball. But that being said, when he's on ball, he's still having scoring shots. So I like Isaac Rankin, especially against North. You'd think Adelaide win by, a couple of goals. Nothing too crazy. The rest of the goal scorers I'm not that bullish on. But again, we'll fly through this. Again, I try and keep these videos a bit short just so I can get the form guide out for you guys. Ben Keys, he has only missed 3 times in the last 2 years, or since last year. So it's just very hard to say no. No one else that I really like. Let's go to 14 posies. Alex Neil-Bullen. I was very tempted to include too. So I was, looking at Rory Laird. Well, I was looking at Rory Laird and Josh Worrell. I was kind of doing the same between Ben Keys and Neil-Bullen. Ben Keys, I think just the 12 posies got me over the line. Neil-Bullen for 14 plus is still very tempting. So he's just missed once this year. Yeah, I think he's every chance to hit. Obviously not getting any like midfield minutes or anything, but I expect just a high half forward to come in and help out. Will occasionally go on the wing when Cummings or Cook is on the bench. So yeah, I think Neil Bullen's got a chance. 15 plus, Tumbler Myers playing the wing role. He got dropped, but then was a late inclusion, and yeah, he just hasn't missed all year. So I really think he's a great chance. But speaking of the other wingmen, we have Dylan Stevens down here. So tempted to include like him or Myers, but I think I just kind of like the structure of the bet right now, where we've got the two backline players. So Luke Parker, Caleb Daniel, Millera, and Rory Laird. Maybe it's just a little bit of the concern. It's like at Adelaide Oval. Do I think North Melbourne are going to have the luxury of using a lot of the wingers and just creating a lot of their own space at Adelaide Oval? Maybe not, but yeah, I think Dylan Stevens is a great chance. I think it was just the 16 and the 18 posies of late. But yeah, he's someone who can get 20 plus. So yeah, no, I like Dylan Stevens, close to include. Jai Simpkin, Berry, just not paying enough. Simpkin will likely tag. Berry, if he was paying like $1.18, 19, 20, definitely include him for 16 plus. Someone who's just going to be playing all on ball. It doesn't really matter if Dawson's back now. Sam Berry's still hitting. 18 plus, Josh Worrell. So I want to include Josh Worrell for 20, and you can see him down here. He's just paying very high odds for 20 plus, even though he's missed once this year. So I was tempted to include, I was tempted to include him for 18 plus, but it's just not quite enough. So I mean, if I took Ben Keys out and put in Josh Worrell, it's then 3 backline players for Adelaide. And I don't really want to take Laird out because, you know, Laird's paying pretty good. Millera is the hottest form in the backline right now for Adelaide. So yeah, Josh Worrell, very tempting. And also his last couple of games against North, 19, 18, 18. I could maybe see why he's paying a bit higher in the 20 plus. So yeah, anyway, Sam Berry I spoke about as well, playing on ball, every chance to hit, even with Jordan Dawson, who will likely spend more minutes back in the midfield instead of in the back line. And he had plenty of options for 20 plus. I've gone almost all of them. Colby McKercher is the one I just didn't include because I know he's looking really good, and at the moment taking some... I don't think he's actually taken as many kickouts of late, but he's playing more in the back line. He's looking to take the game on, you know, run and carry and all that shit, but we've seen him get thrown as a half forward. We saw it happen with Caleb Daniel, but this is like a month plus ago now. Colby McKercher is the one with just, I reckon, the most role uncertainty, albeit very tiny, right? Albeit, I think 90% chance he's playing the whole game, the half back line. But also, I'd rather just go Luke Parker and Caleb Daniel. I just think they're safer. Colby McKercher, I think, has a bigger ceiling. I think he could explode, but yeah, Caleb Daniel, safe for the kickouts, and Luke Parker in just great form. 22, Jordan Dawson. Again, I had no reason not to include. He's looking fantastic. Racking up a little bit more footy when he was in the back line. I think he'll go back on ball. He gets a lot more of it when he's playing half back, but on ball against North, I think, yeah, I think he's a great chance to hit. Someone who's very up there and close to being included. Luke Parker and Wayne Miller I spoke about. LDU and Harry Sheedle, both these guys, I kind of like these new brackets, right? Because LDU, I just don't quite like enough for 25 plus. And Harry Sheasel, 30 plus, he's always in the 30 plus bracket. But if we can get him for 28 or LDU for 24, it's great. It's a great new addition that Ladbrokes and Neds have done where you can do 24, 26, 28. Because otherwise it goes from like... Back in the day, it was 15, 20, 25. But all these new little extra brackets, I really like. Anyway, LDU having a great year this year. Fantastic. Yes, he missed against that GWS game, and the other close miss, I cannot remember what that one was. That was 3 games ago. That was against Carlton, was it? Okay. Anyway, I think LDU and Harry Sheasel are great. I think I don't know. I've locked in the structure of the backline players. But yeah, you could easily twist my arm to include Sheasel or LDU, both having really great years. Harry Sheasel, you take out that 20 plus. Was that one? Did he get tagged in the Geelong game? Anyway, it was at GMHBA. It's, yeah, very hard. But anyway, Sheasel and LDU could include. Anyway, I'm yapping on. Let's go to the next game, game 5. which is Hawthorn versus Melbourne. So we've gone Gawn for 16, Battle for 18, Steele and Bowie for 20, and then Jai Newcomb for 22. Newcomb for 22 hasn't missed all year. Very consistent this year. So a little bit less consistent or inconsistent last year. But yeah, this year he started out really strong. Hawthorn's, main ball accumulator. So I like that for Newcomb. Jake Bowie, I wanted to include last week, right? But I just wanted to see one game, and that one game I saw, I'm already sold. Jake Bowie looks fantastic. Took, what was it? I was about to say 10 kickouts. He took 9. 8 of them were played on. But Jake Bowie, because they don't have Salem, they don't have Xavier Lindsay. Yes, Trent Rivers is back. He might take a couple, but I think Trent Rivers kickouts, he'll pinch those from Tholstrup, because I think Tholstrup might do a bit of a tagging job on Nick Watson. But anyway, I really like Bowie. They want the ball in Bowie's hands in the back line. Had some big games against Hawthorn in the past. Yeah, I just wanted to see one game for Bowie because, yeah, I was tempted to include him last week. So we've waited, and here we are. Jack Steele, super consistent, missed just by one posie once this year. I was tempted between him or Tom Sparrow. Tom Sparrow is very hot right now, but I've also seen Tom Sparrow just shit himself multiple times last year. So I think Jack Steele is a bit more consistent at the moment, albeit Tom Sparrow's hot. We'll get them in a sec. Josh Battle, this is the highest bracket I've ever taken Josh Battle, but it's 18 plus sounds like a lot for him, but it's just really hard to argue with his form at the moment. Averaging 21 posies this year. He's beating his opponent. He's taking kickouts. He'll receive kickouts, switching the play. Hawthorn love to do that. If they don't see a good option down the line, the next instinct is to just switch the play. Josh Battle always comes off his man when Hawthorn are looking to attack, and will get a switch kick. So, Josh Battle for 18 worries me a little bit, but his form's just really good at the moment. Max Gawn, we waited. We didn't bet on him while Max Heath is in the game. Max Heath is still playing, but Max Gawn is still getting 20, 18, 21 posies, all while he's been in the forward line. So at this rate, it's not like, yes, we know he's going to play, 50% in the forward line, 50% in the ruck, but it's 16 posies we're asking for him. It's not 18, it's not 20. He's going up against Reeves and Lloyd Meek. They're definitely both playing, right? Yep. And so it's two kind of meh ruckmen. And Melbourne are in really good form at the moment anyway. They easily could be an upset. So I think Melbourne can also still get a bunch of inside 50s. I think Max Gawn is fine for this one. Again, it's for 16. Anything higher, I'd be a bit wary about, but he's averaging 20 posies while still playing in the forward line. So it's hard to say no. Cozzy Pickett, I think every chance for a goal. I was tempted to bet on him last week. I think it was for a goal. I did the posies in the end, but Cozzy Pickett for a goal is always tempting. 9 out of 10. Nick Watson for 2, I highlighted, but then they're probably going to have some attention to him. Melbourne have been coached pretty well this year, so I can imagine Stephen King puts Tholstrup on him, because we've seen Tholstrup was a tagger earlier this year when Salem and Xavier Lindsay were playing. Now they've got Bowie and Trent Rivers back. Tholstrup has been in the back line. He hasn't been tagging again, but, he could play in the back line and tag and sit on Nick Watson. So I think that's the perfect matchup for him. So you'll see here when I get to the 12 posies, I was very tempted to include Nick Watson, especially after a miss. But he's had 3 posies and 8 posies against Melbourne in his last couple of games. I just think Melbourne are going to be ready for that. I still think Nick Watson's every chance, but do I like Tholstrup sitting on him for the whole game? No, but yeah, Nick Watson's had a great start to the year. Langford and Jath, I think, are both good inclusions. Jath versus his old club, I kind of like that. I was tempted to include him for that reason, but yeah, and Langford, not that bullish on. If he's playing, he could play on ball with Windsor out, but yeah, until then, his posies are too low. He can have big games, but otherwise he's a low team sort of posie getter at the moment. But it's for 12 posies, so it's very tempting. 14 plus, Cade Chandler, Cade Chandler, I would love for 12 or 13 posies, but he's not quite paying enough, so 14's there as an option, but I don't know, it's against Hawthorn, so I think Hawthorn can bounce back after that Freo game. Do I like a high half forward for Melbourne against that? 15, we've got Massimo D'Ambrosio. I like him after a miss, but 16 posies I know is not a miss, but it's a low posie game, so he can usually get high teens and 20s. But yes, he does have occasional stinkers, so I like him, you know, not to bounce back because he hit, but yeah, I think he can play better than that. 16 plus, Jack Ginnivan for his milestone game, very, very close to including. Same with Dylan Moore to bounce back. Actually, and the other milestone man is Connor McDonald. I was tempted to include any one of those three Hawthorn high half forwards. They all missed against Freo last week. Like, yeah, very tempted to include, but I think Battle's a bit safer. He's shown it all year. Max Gawn can still hit. You know, like I don't think any of them beat these selections, but you know, I could easily see including one of these guys. Like if one of these guys was a late out or something like that. So yeah, I really think they're a good chance. Tom Sparrow, I mean, you know, you could argue as well to include him, but 5 out of 22 last year. I've seen many games where Tom Sparrow has just done absolutely nothing, but his role this year is different. Stephen King trusts him. He's getting a lot of CBAs. Trent Rivers is back. I don't think Rivers is going to go straight into the midfield yet. Might not even go into the midfield in the next month or at all, whatever this year. So I think Rivers shouldn't impact Sparrow. I don't think Rivers really impacts Bowie either, because I think that'll sort of take a hit for Tholstrup or like Ed Langdon or something. I don't think it'll affect Bowie. But yeah, I could easily... Actually, I could not... I'm not that fan. I'm not a big of a fan on Sparrow. His games have been huge recently, averaging 24 posies in his last 3. I don't know. I've just seen too many bad Tom Sparrow games. That's just me. We've talked about Battle and McDonald, 20 plus. Carl Amon, I've always seen as a 20 plus player. Last year, I bet on him heaps. Started out a little bit slow, had that knee problem. Anyway, he's averaging 31 posies in his last 3. I think he's every chance to hit. He usually goes hit, miss, hit, miss. I want to see just a little bit of run of form. I mean, by then, he'll probably be in the next bracket, but I don't know. I'd rather go Bowie. I was bullish on him last week. Jack Steele, consistent. Jarman Impey and James Sicily. Yeah, sure. I mean, Sicily, if he was 18 plus, I'd include him straight away, but he usually averages just a smidge over 20, so there's not that much of a buffer. And Jai Newcomb having a great year, and I could go Newcomb for 24, but you know, I don't need to risk it at this point. Yeah, anyway, let's go on to the last game for the Saturday, which is Carlton and the Doggies. So we've got Joel Frazier for 16, Adam Cherry for 18, Bailey Dale for 20, Matthew Kennedy for 22, and Sam Walsh for 24. So Joel Frazier, I still think he can hit if he's in his worst posie, which is high half forward. He's getting around 25 to 30% CBA, so he's coming around the ball. I think against Carlton, who could have a dead cat bounce with the new coach, you know, with the sacking Michael Voss and caretaker coach Frazier, whatever, coming in. But I really think Joel Frazier, every chance to hit, even if he's in his worst position. But best case, he's playing a bit more on ball, 20 plus. So he's got a lot of upside. The concern is if he just has a meh game, I think he's still close. And it's against Carlton too. I think Doggies just destroy Carlton in this, but I could be wrong. Yeah, you've seen it before where you get rid of the new coach, the players all feel guilty, they all want to bounce back, play the best they've ever played. So yeah, we'll see. So anyway, I like Frazier to hit. Adam Chera, kind of on the fence about, even though he's 10 out of 10, which is crazy. But he's lost a lot of his CBAs. George Hewitt is back. Adam Chera was kind of playing a bit more on the wing. At least I'm pretty sure I saw him playing on the wing when I was at the Brisbane game. But he's still hitting 20 plus. So Adam Chera for 18, I think is fine. I'm not asking anything crazy of Chera, or I'm not going crazy on Hewitt. Chera for 18, I think is fine. Bailey Dale, I could have done for 22. He's just really flipped a switch the last month. He was slow to start the year, had the interrupted preseason. Connor Buderick was taking kickouts early, but fuck that. Bailey Dale's got runs on the board now, or, you know, games under his belt after missing the start of the year for preseason. He hasn't missed a game. And also he's just getting a lot of handball receives, taking like 9, 10, 11 kickouts. So I really like Bailey Dale. Matt Kennedy against his old club. I was tossing up between Matt Kennedy and the Bont. I was pretty much the Bont the whole way until Matt Kennedy's only had 1 miss this year, and it was on reduced minutes. And like, it was just a bit of an off game. Otherwise, without that game under his belt, Matt Kennedy is just having huge ones. And against Carlton, yeah, I like Matt Kennedy. And also, it's 22 I'm asking for Kennedy, and that kind of helps when I'm asking for 24 from Sam Walsh. I don't really want to do 24 and 25 or whatever for the Bont, but Sam Walsh, 24, only had one miss this year, and it was when he was tagged. I'm pretty sure that's the North Melbourne game. Off the top of my head, I think it is. Otherwise, if he's not getting tagged, which Bulldogs won't tag, I think great value for 24 plus. So yeah, I really like all these guys. There's plenty of others that I would be close to include. We'll go through them. Bont for a goal. Yeah. Had 2 misses this year, but I wouldn't really include. Aaron Norton, I was not that bullish on when Sam Darcy went down, but he showed in the last couple of weeks that, yeah, he's still able to kick 2. And I think Doggies win this pretty comfortably. So, yeah, I wouldn't include still, though. There's goal scorers I only include if I'm just, I don't know, if I think they're just a great chance. But I just think Norton's a okay chance to kick 2. I'll skip straight past the 10. Again, I'll kind of skip through this because I'll upload this online. Zach Williams is paying really good odds at the moment, but he had that reduced minutes last week, and I saw him tweak his ankle again in the Brisbane game. But it was the Brisbane game. So he got reduced minutes in that Brisbane game, but still got 10. Look, I mean, yeah, I could bet on Zach Williams, but he's a glass cannon. He gets injured like every second game. So, yeah, that's the concern you got to take with him. Ben Ainsworth has missed twice this year. He's having a couple of 20 posi games, so I like that. But I've already got 2 of the Carlton players, Sam Walsh and Chera, who I think are a bit safer. Joel Frazier and Nick Hines, sorry. I really think, yeah, Joel Frazier, 15. I just think he can get that one more posi for 16 plus. Nick Hines, I think, I don't know. I bet on him in the Brisbane game last week and he was a bum. So as soon as I bet on someone like that who's super consistent, yeah, he's probably every chance he can bounce back. Ollie Hollands, Joel Frazier. Ollie Hollands looked great in the Brisbane game, but I think that was like he's one of the best games, you know, a really good game I've seen him play this year. I don't think he can do that again, but yeah, every chance. 16 plus. He doesn't have to have an amazing game to get 16 plus, but could easily, yeah, I could include Ollie Hollands, but I've gone Joel Frazier. 18 plus, George Hewitt. Ollie Florent I was tempted to include, right? So he missed last week because Adam Sard took 5 kickouts. So I reckon Ollie Florent gets 3 or 4 more extra kickouts. Actually, someone who I didn't include in the end. I've actually got them bold down here. Nick Newman. So I was very tempted to, I pretty much had Nick Newman in the bet the whole time, but I swapped with Joel Frazier. Just, I don't know. I really like Nick Newman. So I'm speaking on him as well because Ollie Florent, both of them will be taking kickouts in a game where I think Doggies are going to win by a lot. I could easily take one or the other, but I've just kind of gone the same thinking. I think Dogs are going to win, so I think Joel Frazier can have a good game. But I also think the Carlton backline players will have some kickouts. So I just think Joel Frazier, he looks great in the form guide, been very consistent, but Ollie Florent coming off a miss, and Nick Newman, yes, he's 4 out of 10 here, but his first couple of games for the year, 19, and then he's had a month of 20s, and I think he can go another month of 20, but maybe it's just because Michael Voss has just resigned and shit. I don't know. I'd rather go Joel Frazier. Bailey Williams, 18 is a lot to ask for him. If Bailey Williams is in the 16 plus, I'll go him all the time. Connor Buderick, I was bullish on at the start of the year, not as much now, but for 18 plus, you could tempt me. Jager Smith has only missed 1 game this year, and it's by 1 posi. I really like. He doesn't have to have a lot of CBAs, which kind of worried me a month ago, as soon as he lost a lot of that, but I don't know, maybe without Voss there, maybe Jagers gets thrown into the midfield more often. So I think he's got a lot of upside because in his shittest position, coming off the forward line, he's still getting 18 plus. So I really like that pick. 20 plus, Bailey Dale I spoke about, absolutely just tearing it up. Nick Newman taking plenty of kickouts. Out of Ed Richards, Matthew Kennedy, and Riley Sanders, and Bont, I went Matt Kennedy. So 9 out of 10. He's averaging 26 and a half, like almost 27 posies this year. And that's including his 15 posie game where he had reduced minutes and just, I don't know, had an outlier of a game. So Matt Kennedy against his old club, to me, is the standout of those picks. But I could see if you want to go Ed Richards. Paddy Cripps I would like for 20, but not 22. I don't know. There's just been a lot of eyeballs on Paddy Cripps at the moment. Riley Sanders having a huge one. So he was pretty good odds for 20 plus just as I was getting this ready. And I was going to include him, but things had to change. Took him out because he lost his value for 20. And 22 is a lot to ask for Sanders. But Sanders gets a lot of it and you just sometimes don't even notice. He's not very damaging. He gets little handballs. He's in the chain, but he's there. Riley Sanders works hard to get in the right spot. So, yeah. Bailey Dale I can see doing 22, even though we've gone in for 20. Sam Walsh and Bont I've spoken about, who I actually included Sam Walsh. Sorry, let me bold him. Yeah, and I could have easily gone Bont, but I've gone Kennedy. So, yeah, anyway, that's the bets for this Saturday. Thankfully, it's way less bets to keep track of. Again, I'll say this every game, but for the Sunday... Whoops, sorry. This is what I wanted to turn off. The Sunday bets, they'll be in the video down below. Check the comments. I'll post the link to the Excel spreadsheet. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much again, guys. I say it every time, but it really means a lot. I should put this at the start of the video because I don't know how many of you make it to the very end, but I guess all the ones who make it to the very end are the ones who are leaving the really nice comments and stuff. So yeah, really appreciate it. So it's nice to have, you know, the support and the recognition of just doing the work in the first place. Yes, we've been having a bit of a rough patch, but just the thank you messages, you know, the thumbs up, like just the thumbs up, anything, like it's just means a lot, you know, the view itself. So yeah, really appreciate you guys coming back and being a good, I don't know, it's why I do this. Sometimes I feel really bad. I'm like, oh fuck, it's shit. I've had another shit week, but yeah, you guys are super supportive. So even if you don't select the bets that I'm choosing, at least the form guide's there. So, providing some bit of help or information anyway, even if we are stuck at fucking 1400. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping, get this video out, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.